We were talking about bisectors and triangles, medians and altitudes. We want to identify and use perpendicular bisectors and angle bisectors and triangles. So here we have 3 examples that we are going to work on. So it says find the measure of angle PYW. So PYW. So we want to find the full measurement. And it gives us the measurement of PYM and WYM. Now the thing that we notice is that point M is equidistant from this side of the angle and this side of the angle. So what that tells us is that our two sides of the angle are congruent, because that is now the angle bisector because of the converse angle bisector theorem. It says if point M is the same distance from each side, then YM is the bisector. So we can set it up right now, and we can say that these two equations are equal to each other. So we can say 4x minus 1 is equal to 2x plus 5. And we want to add 1 to both sides of the equal sign. Our 1's cancel, and we're left with 4x is equal to 2x plus 6. And then we want to subtract 2x. And we're left with 2x is equal to 6. So we divide both sides by 2. And we get x is equal to 3. So that tells us what x is. Our question says, please find PYW. So that's the whole thing. We don't have to find the whole thing necessarily, because we know that these two are congruent. So if we find one, we know both of them, we can add them together. So we can say PYM, the measure of angle PYM, is equal to 4x minus 1. Well, we can replace the x with our 3. So that's equal to 4 times 3 minus 1. 4 times 3 is 12, minus 1, that is equal to 11. So the measure of angle PYM is equal to 11. And then also WYM, because they're congruent, is also going to be equal to 11. So we can say the measure of angle PYW is equal to 11 plus 11, which is equal to 22. Here we have another example. It says find the distance from M to K. So the distance from M to K right there might be hard to see on our drawing, but our angles are marked as congruent. So it says that this angle is congruent to this angle. So because those two angles are congruent, that makes VK the angle bisector. So because VK is the angle bisector, that these two sides are congruent. So that tells us that MK is congruent to TK, or the distance from MT or MK is equal to the distance TK. And we can substitute our values in. So we get 2x plus 1 is equal to 3x minus 8 So then we are going to subtract 1, and we get 2x is equal to 3x minus 9. Then we are going to subtract 3x from both sides of the equation, and we get negative 1x is equal to negative 9. Then we can divide both sides by negative 1, and we get x is equal to 9. So now it says find mk, which is right there. So mk is equal to 2x plus 1. We're going to substitute that value in. So 2 times x plus 1, in this case x is 9. So 2 times 9 is 18 plus 1. So mk is equal to 19. And we have one more example here, and it says find j and z. So find j and z. And this one we're going to have to use our we're going to have to use a couple theorems. We're going to have to use the converse of the angle bisector theorem because it shows us that these two distances are congruent. So n to z is congruent to n to I. So that makes us understand that Jn is the angle bisector. So if Jn is the angle bisector, then that means that NJZ is 38 degrees. Well, now we can see that we have a triangle right here, shaded in lightly so I don't scribble too many things out. And we want to find the measure of angle JNZ. JNZ. So we're trying to find the measure of this angle right here. Well, we're going to have to use triangle sum theorem because we know this one's 90, this one's 38, and then we can use that to figure out our value here, which we're going to say is x. So we can use our triangle sum theorem. We can say 180 degrees is equal to 38 plus 90 plus x. We have two values here. We have 38 and 90, so we can add those together. And 38 plus 90 is 128. We still have our x value, and that is still equal to 100. Then we can subtract 128 from both sides of the equal sign. 128 cancels out, and we're left with 52 degrees is equal to x. Well, x in this case was our angle, so the measure of angle JNZ is also equal to 52 degrees.